Hey, Jim, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. We can hear you. Thank you very much.
Pamela, do you know if Allison's coming?
I expect her to come. Oh,
Okay.
here she is. And hit.
Yeah, we had a minute or so to spare, so Allison's coming right in.
Morning, Roger.
Good morning.
Morning.
There she is. And we have 9 o'clock on the computer too, so we can. Unless Allison needs a warm up.
How's that?
All right.
All right, so Mr. Griffith, you call the meeting to order.
Let's go ahead and call this meeting to order at 9 o'clock on February 1st for our 2022 Planning Committee meeting. First order of business is a roll call. Am I taking the roll, or is there somebody else who takes the roll?
There's only 3 of you, so you can take a roll if you'd like.
All right. Well,
Looks like everybody's here.
everybody's here, so let's go right ahead. Let's go right
Okay.
into the projects. Go right ahead, Pam.
Okie doke. There's two this morning. The third one that I had sent from Hudson Falls was withdrawn for today. We had looked at that law about a year ago, and so the board thought it wasn't necessary for us to look at it a second time. The first item on the agenda is site plan review for the adoption of a local land use plan by Greenwich under the Greenwich and Village Towns Board's consideration. It's a nomination revitalization plan, a brownfield opportunity area. And I'm just going to share my screen for this. Can y'all see that?
There it is.
Okay. All right. So the Greenwich Revitalization Plan identifies a vision for approximately 388 acres of the village and town of Greenwich. The study area extends between a brownfield and underused key gateways in Greenwich Main Street, Route 9 commercial core to the village's currently inaccessible waterfront. Village and Town of Greenwich identified the study area as an area for redevelopment and revitalization planning, and in conjunction with New York State Department of State, developed the Greenwich Revitalization Plan through the New York State Brownfield Opportunity Area Program. And in real brief summary, the master plan envisions improved waterfront access, connectivity, infill development, and revitalization to support community goals and long-term economic development and growth. And it also provides an implementation framework to pursue funding and make the ideas in the master plan a reality. I didn't write a proposed determination. I figure it's probably a matter of local concern, but I just wanted to point out and give it its due looking at as the recommendations will eventually probably, as they become reality, come to our table. So this is just the project boundary page, which is in yellow, and you can see it goes right down to the river, and Route 29 is Main Street. So it covers all the way from the commercial district all the way to the Main Street and down to the river. And then on page 17, let's see, on page 17, yep, incoming. I guess that's it. Sorry. Yep, that's it. So, they're working in a separate project for updating the zoning in the downtown. And so this plan is tied to that, and I'm not going to go through the details, but I just wanted to point out that it was an important part of this plan. And then the recommendations on page 41. It's a long plan. It's actually a really nicely laid out plan from a planner point of view. Recommendations, page 41. So like this is a map of recommendations. Of course, it would take some time to go through every point, but well, anyway, you can look at it. Hopefully you had a chance to look at it before. I don't want to take too much time and looking for like the summary of the recommendations, but anyway, it's about beautification and traffic and parking and I don't know if Supervisor Nolan wants to make any points about it since you're here.
Sure. First of all, the village was the lead agency on this, but it was a village-town collaboration. It involved a lot of input from business people, citizens in Greenwich. We worked with Chasen to develop it. It includes brownfield areas in the village and the town. And as Pamela said, it is the commercial corridor that we're focusing on. And that is everything from a brownfield area along the Battenkill where the Dunbarton Mill used to be, over to Main Street in our village, and then out Route 29 in the town, which is our commercial district, right out to the circle where 29 and 40 come together. And what we're looking at is remediation of the brownfield areas, but also opportunities for commercial development, affordable housing, senior housing, and beautification, especially along the Battenkill. We have a long stretch to Battenkill there that really is not accessible, and we would like to open that up.
Very nice. And then, of course, this plan has a really complete implementation strategy. So actually, it's worth its while giving it a nice look to see what's going on. But for matters of planning agency, I propose it's a matter of local concern.
Yeah, since we have some new faces, Pamela, maybe it's good to do a little quick review that the county planning board, its job is to look at countywide impacts of some of these local decisions. It's established by statute, by the board, by resolution. It only looks at certain things. It doesn't look at other things like subdivisions. The idea again being that, we have the superintendent of highways here, one supervisor, and then Allison, who's our planning person. And you look at things that might impact not just the locality, but other countywide impacts. So, major roads, things like that, if you're doing changes to them. So most of our things turn out to be matters of local concern. They're not going to have a countywide impact. This committee can determine that. They can send it back to the original body with comments or suggestions if they want to. The original body can take those comments or not as they see fit, and can overrule anything by a supermajority. So our job is pretty much advisory. Anybody that might be watching this later, all these documents are online at the county's website as well, so they can take a look at them and read the whole plan if they want to read the plan too. So usually Pamela makes a recommendation to the committee, which they're free to take or not take, as the case may be. So there's usually a motion and then discussion on the motion as to what that recommendation back to the locality should be, and then the three of you vote.
So Jimmy, can I make a quick comment?
Yeah, go ahead, Laura.
Sure, just because I'm not sure how much of this process either one of you are aware of. You and I had spoken the other day about the Dunbarton site in Greenwich. So I actually about 3 years ago had been working with the Village of Greenwich to try and find funding to do this. They had been repeatedly applying for the federal BOA program and it wasn't getting funded. So I worked with them to do the application and work with Chasen to do this. What it should happen from now is with this plan done, it should make the village eligible for future brownfield tax credits and brownfield development to get some of these plans identified. And we very clearly wanted to do this jointly with the town and the village, which is why this plan incorporated sort of starting at the Battenkill Dunbarton site, but we wanted to include going all the way down to the circle, the traffic circle at the other end, so that there was some components of both town and village. So again, next step on this would typically be to start looking for other funding to implement some of these plans. But I think Chasen did a really, really nice job on this plan.
I agree. Thank you, Laura. So family, your recommendation is for matter of local concern.
Right, so the next thing is somebody makes a motion and somebody seconds.
I would make the motion that it's a matter of local concern with the comment that adjacent municipalities should be notified if they have not yet been notified.
Motion
I'll
by
second it.
Allison, second by Deb. Any further dialogue? Thank you for the input, Allison. All in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Carries. Thank you. All right, on to the Hudson Falls.
All right, on to town of Kingsbury.
Town of Kingsbury. Yep.
They have a site plan review for site plan approval and a granting of an area variance under consideration by Kingsbury Planning Board. A redevelopment of a commercial 1A parcel to construct a medical building. And again, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so the location is, this is the intersection with Dix Avenue and Burgoyne and Route 4 with the Hannaford Market area. And the parcel actually abuts the Hannaford Market and the plaza that has the subway in it. And currently there's a house on the property that's fairly close to the road. It's a residential house. Now, what's interesting about this is that it is so slow. It is zoned in an area that's both commercial and something called, where is it? Oh, here you are. Commercial and LDR 25, that would be the red polka dotted. And they have different setback requirements. In fact, it's the LDR 25 that talks about the front setback and then the referral to the 30-foot requirement. So I didn't quite understand because in the application, it was both noted that it was under COM 1A, but then the reference to the zoning law was the LDR 25. I asked the Todd who sent the application. He says it's definitely being looked at under COM 1A, but the applicant is seeking relief from that extra 40-foot setback, or it's a 40-foot setback, but relief from the 30-foot setback so that the building can be closer inside the commercial zone.
So is the requirement 30 or 40 feet?
The requirement is 30 feet, but if
Okay.
but the law says if it is properties fronting a state highway shall provide for an additional 30 feet of
An additional, so 60?
So 70.
yeah, so we're
70.
talking 70
Ooh.
feet.
That's a
And
big
if you
setback.
look at the site again, I guess they're squishing it in here.
Up where that house is?
Yeah, and yeah, where the house is what the house front looks like. Those are the driveways in the area.
There's a lot of
Um,
driveways. There are a lot of driveways. Hannaford's,
There are, but
South.
it's not uncommon for that area.
yeah.
But it is true. There's a lot of driveways.
Mhm.
And so sight distance would be very important. That's the main part of 4. You can see down at the top of the picture is the main intersection of Burgoyne and Dix and 4. And then there are 2 driveways to Burgoyne Hardware directly across from there. And then not Walgreens, CVS comes out there. And then just south, which would be the top of the picture, we're looking south, is also the driveway for Hanford. So there's a lot of people coming and going there.
Yeah, and another interesting thing I noticed was, to get the picture out from underneath your faces here, was here's where the driveway is proposed in and out. Here's the Hannaford major driveway here. Here's the CVS. Can you see my cursor kind of circling around?
Mhm.
And this is the hardware store on this side. And they also have a driveway that looks like it's going out back here. So maybe there's an intention to connect the parcel somehow with the Hannaford Plaza, but that's not stated in the application.
Or
Yeah.
additional development back there potentially.
Yeah,
I guess if this were site plan review, my comment would be something about trying to have shared access with Hannaford, but we're not doing, it's not site plan review, so that's not important right now.
Deb, do you have a concern with the entrance there in Route 4?
Well, so is that line, does that show it set back 30 feet right now, that dotted line that's right along the proposed building?
that's a
No.
property line.
No, the one that's right next to the proposed building on the other side of those parking spaces where your cursor is.
Oh. It says 20 feet sink ward. I can't read it.
So they're
IDR.
trying to, they're supposed to be 70 feet back because it's a state highway.
Yeah.
Are they fulfilling the 30-foot requirement at all? Or is it just they want relief from both of the requirements?
No, they just want relief from the 30.
So it would be set back 40. They're getting.
Right,
relief from
correct.
30.
So probably approximately where the current building is.
Mhm. Although that could have been built before the zoning.
Oh, sure, but just for
Mhm.
for an example.
In this picture, this is the 500-foot line, by the way. So there's a little bit of a measure here. But it doesn't show the project on it. So.
Like Roger said, it is a very busy traffic area, but I don't know as though there's any sight distance concerns at that low speed, because I believe it's 30 right there until just past there. So
Could you go back to the site plan,
Yeah,
page 19, please? Okay. So there's no setback requirement for that parking in the front? They can have parking in the front there without a setback?
let's see, parking law. Sorry, let me seek I put the law in here. So let's see. This is the LDR 25. Special permit site plan review, minimum lot size, LDR 25 district, yard dimensions. That's a good question, Allison. I don't really have an answer to that. There's the COM district. Lots I see. They actually, the COM district has a deeper. Maybe it doesn't have a deeper. Okay, 25. Oh, that's the dumping thing. This part of the law doesn't seem to have it talk about the parking setbacks, and I don't think the application really didn't address that.
Okay. It just, if we're talking line of sight, having cars right there, it would be an issue, I assume, I think.
Okay. So do we have enough information to make a determination on this?
I think we do for the specific requests of the setback of the building.
Okay.
I don't know if we want to send a comment or question regarding the front yard parking.
And the number of driveways, or no?
Is that in the purview of an area variance though?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Deb, the curb cut comes from the state there in that case, right?
I don't know. Can you show me that map again? The state would definitely set that, yes.
Right, so it's the state they have to get permission from to put a driveway in there,
Yes, yep.
not us.
And it looks like the parking is behind that island that's down in Hannaford. I don't know.
Yeah, the Hannaford building's in the bottom right-hand corner of that. There, that's Hannaford. So there's,
Yep.
there's a separation there.
So what's our ultimate question? The 30 extra feet?
My question is if parking is considered part of that setback requirement.
Okay.
But will that hinder us or stop us from making a determination on the original question of the additional 30 feet setback?
I don't believe so. I think there's enough information for that question, for the current application. So I would make the motion that it's a matter of local, what's the wording we use? A matter of local concern with the question or the comment that the board should look at whether or not parking falls under that front yard setback requirement.
Motion by Allison with the
Second.
additional, second by Deb. Any further dialogue? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Carries.
Very good. So that's it for today.
All right. Nothing, any other comments from anybody else? Any other input?